Welcome to Shooby Dooby Doo, a podcast where we talk about pop music, specifically by deep diving a randomly chose UK top 10 singles from the past. Sometimes I feel like throwing my hands up in the air. Don't need no fortune teller to know where my lucky love belongs. Don't you know which clothes even fit me? Let's stomp to the rhythm of the honky tonk. I'm Andy Robinson.
I'm James Cook.
And which top 10 randomly picked by, let's call it computer process, are we looking at this week, James?
It is 14th of March, 1991. Do you know what's significant about the 14th of March in any given year?
Please tell me.
It is Pi Day.
National Pi Day.
Well, no, it's because it's 3.14.
Okay, nice. Also, 1991 is a palindromic year, James, if we're going to be stupid. That's good, isn't it?
This is the second palindromic year we've done, and we're only ever going to get to do two.
Wow.
Mind blown. We've ticked those off.
In the charts on the 14th of March 1991, not in the top 10, but on their way there or way from it at some point, there were records like Get Here by Alita Adams, The One and Only by Chesney Hawkes, 3am Eternal, KLF, Where You Love Like Heaven, Definition Sound, Can You Dig It, Mock Turtles, that kind of thing.
Do you know what song is about to come out in about a month after this that is going to change the world forever?
World-changing song?
Yeah.
No, what?
Smells Like Teen Spirit.
Okay.
Is nearly out, but not quite.
Pre-grunge. I was looking at what's going on in the world. 3 weeks before the 14th of March 1991, Tim Berners-Lee had introduced the World Wide Web. Also, Apple had just released their PowerBook computer. The first mobile phone call was made in Finland just... Do you know what won the Queen's Award for Technology?
1991?
Yeah.
Oh, some kind of early computing device. I don't
You would
know.
think, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
It was a widget.
Oh, what?
The widget.
Oh, from a can of John Smith's.
So that was going on in
Oh, I remember the advert.
I kind of liked it amongst all this nonsense of 1991 that a bleeding widget won.
In music news...
Oh, yeah, I've got some music news.
What music news have you got?
No, you tell me first. I've just been banging on about a widget, for God's sake.
Well, Michael Jackson was about to sign a $1 billion record contract with Sony. There's no bigger contract, I think, that's ever been signed than that.
Yeah, amazing. James Brown had just been released from some prison sentences done. Donnie Wahlberg got arrested for setting a hotel room on fire. That's some stupid music news I thought I'd chuck in.
Can we talk about the general sense of this top 10 before we get into it, do you think?
Go on. You can always edit it out.
It felt like it lacked a temporal identity. Remember when we did like 1968?
Yeah.
All the songs sounded very 1968.
Yeah.
There's a lot in this which, you know, you wouldn't necessarily go, oh, that's definitely 1991.
Well, as Azealia Banks said, it's 1991 and our time has come, so I just wish we had some stats about it.
All right. I'll get the stats.
All right, let me go back. I know what you're kind of saying.
This top 10 contains 3 UK number ones. There are 3 songs going up, 3 songs going down, and 4 non-movers for a total net movement of positive 22. There is 1 cover version, 3 re-releases, a mashup, 6 British artists, 4 American, 1 Swedish, 5 groups, 2 solo artists, 2 collabs, and a cartoon family.
Good stats by my reckoning. There are 4 songs about the complexities of love. There are 2 songs about Jesus, 2 songs telling you to do something specific, and 2 songs a lot of people seem to listen to whilst chemically altered, let's say. Disappointingly, there are no key changes, but there are 3.5, maybe 4 examples of self-reference. I'm excited to get into them. As always, you can listen to this top 10 on our attached Spotify or YouTube playlist. We heartily recommend you doing that either before, during or after this podcast. Partly you'll know what we're going on about, and also, probably more importantly, a bit of music in your life is always good.
There's also another half a dozen songs in our playlist that are in the top 100 on the 14th of March 1991, and we'll get into them in our special bonus tracks podcast, featuring 5 bona fide 90s classics from the likes of R.E.M., Massive Attack, The Happy Mondays, and 1 song about shoes. You can join our Patreon community for free. The bonus tracks podcast costs less than a barcode battler a month.
What?
A barcode battler. It was a very short-lived, badly thought-through sort of games console where you just try to collect barcodes on it.
Okay.
I think.
How exciting.
It was a big thing in 1991 for like a day.
I had a job. I found a job. And heaven knows I was miserable then in 1991.
I was 13 years old. I was in year 9, Andy.
Yeah?
Which was weird because the year before I'd been in the second year. Because that was when they changed it.
Okay.
So I missed 7 years of school, apparently.
It's served you well, though, for your future career of whatever your future career is.
Yes, one day I hope to have a career.
I see no reason to hang around. Let's move our bodies.
Number 10.
Down 5 to 10 this week, it is Nomad with the song I Wanna Give You Devotion.
It's Nomad featuring Mikey Freedom.
Is
MC Mikey Freedom, no less.
Let me say then, early doors, there are 4 examples of self-references. That's it. I thought it might be. At the end of the song, he's going like, take it down, Mikey. So I thought that must be about yourself. So
Unless there's another bloke called Mikey there.
there's another 3 examples of self-reference to come up. How exciting.
Oh, and by the way, the I Want to Give You is in brackets.
Who wants to give it? Not the most important part of this record.
What would you say is the most important part of this record?
The notion that it's there for you to dance to. I mean, I was sort of sitting there listening to it. I think I remember this. This is all right. I found it through the week when I was on my feet. It makes a lot more sense when you're up and about. Having a little shimmy and a little shake, yeah?
Our colleague, hilarious comedian Rob Deering, has a routine, which he has put on YouTube. So I think we can talk about what's in it, where he talks about the bleepy bleepy music of the 90s. And over the top, there's a woman singing something over the top.
Yep.
There are a couple of examples of that kind of song in the charts this week. This is one of them, but I think it is a bit better than that.
Better than what?
Better than just bleepy bleepy and a woman singing something over the top. I feel like the rap is the thing that sort of brings it to life.
Tell me about Mikey's rap.
Well, what rap is, it's where people sort of talk over the rhythm.
Welcome to Shooby Dooby Doo. This is the sort of content we like to push out. And if you'd like to push into our Patreon, James has got some very problematic thoughts about reggae music. He's going to explain later.
I vaguely remember this. I wasn't into this type of music at the time because I was 13, so I wasn't going to raves because I was a tiny, tiny 13-year-old boy, as I may have established before on this podcast.
Yeah.
So this didn't feel like it was for me, but I was vaguely aware of it on that bit of The Chart Show on Saturday lunchtime where they did the dance chart, and all the videos were rubbish.
Yep. I mean, as you say, it's a dance record. It's very 1991, isn't it? You know, it's got that feel to it for certain. The rap I found pretty interesting. The content of it, at least, is what you'd expect at the start. But towards the end, it goes strange, doesn't it?
He name checks the poll tax.
What I like about it is he goes, it's getting me uptight for the night is a frightened, night creeps in, creeping slowly, gassing, frightening, spooky, because a frightening nightmare terrorise. And then it's about the bleeding poll tax, isn't it?
Yeah. What are your memories of the poll tax? Do you remember the riot in London?
I do remember the riot, the good old days when people could gather and Keir Starmer wouldn't lock them up. I'm saying for a little bit of pointless needling. I might lean into that for a little bit.
Can I point out my mum and dad? I was too young, but my mum and dad were in London during the poll tax riots.
Lock them up.
They were watching Miss Saigon. That's almost cool, isn't it?
Almost.
It's really cool. He also mentions Maggie being slaughtered, which is a reference to Margaret Thatcher.
It takes a strange turn, doesn't it, in the final verse? Bear in mind, this song I thought was pretty much leave your brain at the door, let's all get out of it, have a dance. Hey, this is good. On YouTube, do you think these people are bothered about the poll tax from their comments? Let me go for it. Jason Rushton 5991 says, takes me back to Berwick Manor before the drive to a Sunday morning rave round the M25. That's one comment. Timothy Fickfield says, Oxford Street, Sydney, when it was fun. Crazy kids taking pills. Now, this is a good one from Chef Stephen. I first heard this tune when I was candy flipping. Now, a few weeks ago, James, we did candy flip, didn't we? Doing Strawberry Fields Forever. What's the definition of a candy flip? Can you remember?
It's 2 drugs at the same time, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is it ecstasy and speed or something like that?
Ecstasy and LSD, you told me.
That was it, yeah.
That gives you a notion, at least, anyway, of what this music exists for.
Well, you would have been the right age to be part of the rave scene in 1991, Andy.
Yes.
Were you having it large in the field?
I was a
drinking lots
little
of
bit,
water?
I have to say. As I mentioned in one of our Patreon things, in 1989, the true Summer of Love, I was at the actual genuine birth of the Summer of Love in Brighton, didn't know what was going on, left to have a twirl around to the Smiths with my cider and black. But in 1991, I'd say I was going out dancing a little bit, not necessarily to chart music, but again, the bleeps and the whoops and the rushes and the ecstatic feeling, let's call it, certainly took me back to a time, yeah.
Did any of those songs feature a mention to Hawk the Slayer? No. Rotten Tomatoes rating 40%.
No. What's that mean? Is it a film?
Yes, film Hawk the Slayer. I mean, you can guess what it's about from the title.
Slayer? I can't imagine what he's called.
Yeah. So Mikey Freedom, who does the rap, he still gigs in Bristol.
Oh, great.
Where he lives. He says he didn't like Devotion at the time when it came out. He said it was too ravey for him. But now he loves it.
Yeah. The music's good, isn't it? It gets you dancing and bopping. I think, crucially, it's got a bit of crowd noise in it. I think that made it more exciting than it was. And
That was a thing, wasn't it, in rave tracks? They have little bits of the crowd.
I mean, James, we work as comedians, don't we? We are not averse to the notion that in television work now and again, things get tickled up, don't they? So why not do it with a rave record? I think have a crowd going mad on it. I like that about it. I also like a particular stanza that Mikey chucks out. He says, let's start here at the beginning of my lyric. To be too bad to rhyme is not a merit. So he is leaning into the notion of that they're rhyming. And I'm also going to say a couple of songs we've got coming up, James, mainly in the Patreon, actually. R.E.M., I'm looking at you. It's a good bit of advice from Mikey to not, let's say, not be too pretentious. He's writing rhymes and spitting them out for fun.
What do you know about Nomad?
Nothing at
group?
all.
Do you know why they're called Nomad?
Because they had no fixed abode kind of thing.
No, look at the word. Look at the letters. It's something backwards.
Oh my God! Like the Exorcist.
Yeah, it's like the Da Vinci Code. This is Damon.
I was doing countdown and I thought there was an N and an A missing in it. It might be Madonna.
No, someone in Nomad was called Damon.
All right,
Damon Rochefort. I'll give you a million guesses as to what he ended up doing.
A million, you say?
Yeah.
All right, then. Was he extracting semen from pigs?
No.
Was he...
Not that I know of, I should say, more accurately.
Was he working as a waitress in a cocktail bar?
Not that I know of.
Oh, go on. Only another, however... That's 999. Go on.
This biog starts pretty standard and then it takes a little bit of a turn.
Right into it.
He went on to sort of produce records for the likes of Kim Wilde and Bad Boys Inc. and Michelle Gale, and then he wrote episodes of Birds of a Feather, and around 200 episodes of Coronation Street, including the Coronation Street musical Street of Dreams.
Well done, Nomad. Yeah. Stroke Damon.
Yeah, there are two other people in Nomad. Yeah. I mentioned them. There's Sharon D. Clark.
What did she go on to do? Right, Casualty.
That is so weird.
Why?
She was in Holby City. For years.
I'm liking this alternative life of Nomad.
She played Grace O'Brien in Doctor Who.
Yeah.
She was the original Killer Queen in the stage production of We Will Rock You.
Yeah.
She has won 3 Olivier Awards for her stage work. And the other person in Nomad is Steve Mack.
Right, what's he done?
He has contributed to 30 UK #1 singles.
Blimey.
Yep. Kind of the next thing he does after this is he forms a band called Undercover, who did like bleepy bleepy cover versions of Baker Street and Never Let Her Slip Away that got into the charts. And then he becomes a songwriter and producer, works extensively with Westlife.
Okay.
Does very well at Westlife. And then with a lot of the people who come through sort of Simon Cowell's stable, so Little Mix, Leona Lewis, Susan Boyle, JLS, One Direction, The Saturdays, Clean Bandit, and he has a co-writing credit on Shape of You by Ed Sheeran.
Blimey, these are great.
Turns out Nomad was this incredible supergroup.
Yeah. Of polymaths, let's say.
You never can tell.
Do you think when he wrote Birds of a Feather and they filmed that episode, a little bit we were alluding to, do you think they put on some crowd noise, i.e. laughter behind it? He learned from his devoted days.
Learned it from Nomad. He also mentions Flotex in the lyrics.
Which is what?
It is, well, apparently, according to Google, it's a type of waterproof carpet.
Right, okay. Knowing Nomad, they probably invented Flotex or something and they went on to do that after.
Number 9.
Up 12 places to number 9. It's Too Late by Quartz, featuring Dina Carroll.
Dina or Dinah?
I always thought it was Dina.
Yeah, let's say Dina, I'm being silly.
Dinah is usually when it's got an H at the end.
Let's not get in. Let's call it the long grass there, James.
Or is it Carol?
Should we do the facts first?
Go on, do your little
facts.
It's
a cover version, isn't it?
Yes. Originally by Carole King on the album Tapestry. Grammy award-winning song, won Record of the Year. In my opinion, one of the best songs ever.
Yeah.
And you'd really have to go some to fuck it up.
Right, I can feel something coming on over the horizon.
No, not at all.
All right.
There are some songs that are so good that they're fairly bulletproof to cover versions.
Yeah.
Not to bring it always turning it back to Candy Flip.
Yeah.
But when we spoke about that, And I was kind of braced for what you, a Beatles fan, was going to say about it. But you were like, well, the song's really good, and they do a fine version of it. So
We've done it in the past, haven't we?
Yeah.
Can't Help Falling in Love, UB40, from whatever that chart that was. I can't say that's a heartwarming version, but it's a great song. We've done Car Wash when Christina and Missy Elliott did it. I mean, The Man from Laramie was a cover version from 1955. Listen to that episode if you want. I felt a little bit for this version. I'd almost been tenderised by Nomad, if you like. The dance element of that record sort of put me in mind for, let's call it, the more dancey elements of this song. You say you can't fuck it up.
oh, you're going to try?
I'm gonna have a little thing. What drove me mad throughout the insistence is you've got the chords. I mean, A minor and D, which I'd like to get into, but that's kind of A minor, simple on the chorus, as you imagine. But that that they play throughout it sounds like it's done on bottles or something.
Yeah.
And it drives me fucking mad. I like Dina Carroll, but there's something.
Dinacarol.
So there's something about that bottle noise of the, let's call it the main riff.
Yeah,
found
that
it
went through you a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, in the video, they are playing it on bottles.
I didn't really look at the old YouTube comments for this one, I have to say. I was getting into the notion of it. What I like about it, bearing in mind what we had before, let's say the devotion song essentially was F minor and B minor with a little you know, that all the way through to now. Carole King don't do that. I found it fascinating. She's got this used to living in the D. A minor D, as I mentioned, with that annoying bottle top. But then I can't work out what key it's in, really, because she goes, one of us is changing A minor, then to a G minor. And I say, grab crying. So it might be an F, and then it's too late, baby, now it's too late. So I'm trying to think, that chord is essentially the home, but to my ears, it sounds kind of weird. It sounds almost homeless in terms of key. If you know anything about music theory, something inside the dad and I can't hide and I just can't E. Where's it going back to? I don't know if it's in A minor or D, and I also don't know, possibly it modulates into something inside the dad and I can't hide it and I just can't fake it. Oh no. So it goes into C for a bit then. What I'm saying is, very poorly explained, there is something discombobulating about the music behind this. I think it shows a sense of uncertainty, a sense of home, which would relate to the, let's call it the lyrical concept here.
Lyrics written by Tony Stern, who coincidentally had just ended a relationship with James Taylor, but she says this is not about him.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Are you doubting her own words about her own song?
All right, she says so. It just seems like a bit of a coincidence to
I think
me.
we've got to do it. You know, I didn't believe I Don't Want to Dance by Eddie Grant was all about the UK until you pointed out that Eddie Grant claimed it. So we've got to go. We've got to go for the songwriter's claims.
All right, it's not about James Taylor. Fine. But what it is about is that thing that I said no songs are about, which is a sort of mature take on the end of a relationship, which we keep finding examples of, as proving I have no idea what I'm talking about.
Fair enough. We're learning as we go along too. Just to get it back onto, let's call it the sound of it, the clubby nature of 1991. Craig Gotted Shaw on YouTube says, this reminds me of Andrea when I was 16, taking trips and speeds. Good times.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure everyone in 1991 apart from me was on drugs.
There's a lot of drugs about.
I was probably on antihistamine by that point.
Were you on Haagen-Dazs? Because I 1991, a lot of it, when I was having a little look this week, Haagen-Dazs was introduced to the country, and I watched the thing where they adverts loads of couples are pouring it sexily over each other. Yeah,
sexy ice cream, wasn't it?
Yeah, sexy ice cream.
No, I was too busy getting through Viennettas, mate.
Yeah, like there's no tomorrow.
Yeah. So Quartz are Ronnie Herrell, who'd go on to be an award-winning radio presenter, and Dave Rawlings, who is probably not a country and western singer, just has the same name as him.
Oh, yes, the guitarist, the cohort of Gillian Welsh, I believe.
It's not him. I mean, if it is, that's quite a about turn. But I was hoping that like one of them had written an episode of You Rang My Lord or something like that, but it didn't happen. Sorry, kids.
I mean, I think Nomad have set a bar this
They
week.
have. They've set the bar too high.
Yeah. I mean, I love this song anyway. As you say, it's a classic, isn't it? You know, I've
Yeah,
heard
it's
this
great.
song all my life. There's a bit in an Elvis Costello song, I can't remember which one, but he's going on where he's watching a band playing It's Too Late. No, the band were playing Too Late. I agreed with that part. So, you know, this song has lived on either through reference or the actual song itself for years.
It's in the
for
song
me.
1972,
Go
the
on.
album 1972 by Josh Rouse. Groove into a Carole King tune. It's too late, baby. It's too late.
Yeah,
Is
okay,
that how
nice.
that lyric
So
goes?
it casts a long shadow, doesn't it?
I think it's fine. This version, I think they don't do anything. I know you don't like the bottle noise in it, but I think it's fine.
Yeah, okay.
And Dina Carroll's got a great voice.
What's your knowledge of her? Let me point out, I was not bothered by Dina Carroll so much once, and then maybe around this time, maybe a little bit later, Bon Jovi won at the Brits or something, and then halfway through the song, he went, and now to introduce our guest, Dina Carroll. She comes on stage, strutting and moving, singing great. I fell in love with her instantly. I thought, I remember that clip, and let's be honest, I fancied her a little bit just from her, let's call it her presence. And I have to say, watching that clip again this week on YouTube, as Eric Prydz said in the song Valerie, I am the same boy I used to be. Yeah, she's a great singer.
Yeah, well, she won a Brit for Best Female Artist in 1994.
Okay.
She's the only British female to have had 2 singles in the UK top 10 simultaneously in the 90s. Her Mercury-nominated album, So Close, was the biggest-selling debut album by a female artist until Dido.
Okay.
Did you watch the video?
Yes, I did have a little look at it. It was Dali-esque, wasn't it?
Yeah, there's
Here in
some
a
melting
room.
clocks
Yeah.
there. There's also a giant chess set. Now, have you come across one of these in real life?
I've seen them in
The
real
giant
life.
chess
yes.
sets, usually in a park or some kind of National Trust property. I put it to you, no one has ever actually played a game of chess with a giant chess set to completion.
Yeah. You're right, I think. It wouldn't attract, let's call it the chess enthusiast,
Yeah.
would it? Okay. They're probably too busy on a giant swing ball or something somewhere. I don't know. As I say, you know, it's done in whatever, a very 1991 style.
Yeah, having said in the intro that I felt this chart lacked identity of its time, we've had 2 songs that are definitely from 1991.
I was surprised when you said it, to be honest, James. If you listen back, I didn't really pick up on it. My temptation was to go, huh?
Yeah,
Oh,
I think there are other songs coming up that prove my point a bit better.
Number 8.
Up 10 places to number 8. Hello, you fool. I love you. Come and join the Joyride by Roxette. I can't tell you how much that line makes me laugh.
Of the chorus, hello,
Hello, you fool. I just like the use of you fool.
I'm just pointing out, James is usually very strict on this. The title of this song is not "Hello, you fool. Do you want to come and join my Joyride?" or whatever he claims. It's just Joyride. But okay,
It is just Joyride.
all right.
But it's
Important.
hello, you fool.
Now, I have loved this record this week, surprisingly. I remembered it at the time. I mean, maybe with my, not anti-dance proclivities, but I thought after the 2 we've just listened to, tragically, I thought, finally, a rocker. And I've loved it. I mean,
You've loved this song?
Yeah, I have, yeah.
So have I.
Okay, great.
What a twist reveal.
The Doug2103 on YouTube, this is good. He says, this duo was incredible. Now, also, I'm going to point out, James, we don't usually bang on about this, but the Doug2103 says, this duo was incredible, especially from an engineering recording point of view. The choices in vocals and orchestration, they knew how to serve the song. And I absolutely agree with that. The sound of it, despite the song, which I really like anyway, silly little catchy song, isn't it? But the production choices and the way it sounds, and so many hooks are in it, things are drifting in and out, things drop out for a little bit, strings and orchestra come in, it's got a whistling little hook and gimmick to it. I mean, come on.
That whistle has been an earworm for me for 34 years.
Okay.
If I'm whistling, I can't really whistle particularly tunefully, but if I'm whistling, it's probably that. Apparently, it's inspired by Always Look on the Bright Side of Life.
Huh? This song?
No, that whistle bit.
Oh, really?
Specifically that whistle bit.
Okay, that's a good bit of research. Have they claimed that themselves rather than some nerd on the internet talking about it? It doesn't matter.
No, Per Gessler, he said that.
Great.
He's the bloke from Roxette who wrote this song.
It's got so many good little bits in it, like the line in A Wonderful Balloon.
Yes.
A mad voice comes in, "In a wonderful balloon," whatever.
Hilarious.
Yeah,
and the
great.
thing about rock you like a baby.
Yep.
That bit as well.
Yep, tremendous. It is so sticky, it does not leave you alone for the 3.5 minutes it's on. Great.
And it is inspired by a handwritten note that Per Gessler's wife left him that literally said, "Hello, you fool, I love you." But in Swedish, so it would have been, "I didn't Turkey älskade."
Fair enough.
I hope that's right. I hope I haven't just offended all of Sweden.
This is the trouble, isn't it? When we rely, I mean, I often rely on YouTube comments for my facts, so, you know, who knows? Who knows what you've just said? Sorry, Finland.
Sweden! They're Sweden's second biggest selling musical act, funnily enough.
Yeah, right.
Selling around 80 million records worldwide. This is their 4th US number one.
Really?
They had 4 American number ones.
Amazing. What with? Must have been Love, would have been one.
Joyride, The Look.
You? Yeah.
And, oh God.
Doesn't matter. Some things are good to be a mystery.
look it
Email us into shoobypodcast@gmail.com if you know what this elusive 4th number one by Roxette was. Weirdly, it's not on the internet, so we're asking for your real knowledge.
And Joyride, I thought you'd know this.
Yeah.
The title Joyride is inspired by something Paul McCartney said.
How?
I'm
even more intrigued now. This added another level of love to this song if they're going on about Paul McCartney.
He said that writing songs with John Lennon was a long joyride.
Nice.
And that's
what they had.
Yeah, and that's what the title comes from. Not from the late 80s, early 90s craze of joyriding that I remember being all over the papers and news.
Yeah.
That and ram raiding around this time. That was a big thing. You were about the right age for doing that. Were you a big joyrider and ram raider?
No, I was more of a happy slapper, if anything. Well, this is good, isn't it? I mean, Ding You Spool on YouTube says, if there's a heaven...
Ding You Spool, I love you. Come and join the joyride.
Have you got a problem with the hello, you fool bit?
I just think it's funny. Hello, you fool.
It's so catchy, isn't it? Hello. I should have said that.
It's a slightly archaic term, you fool. That's what I enjoy.
Dingu Sport, who's gone to school, she says, if there's a heaven, she's playing a concert with David Bowie, George Michael, Freddie Mercury and Laura Branigan, because obviously Marie, the other Roxette, tragically passed away.
Yeah, Marie Fredriksson. She was diagnosed with a brain tumour in 2002. She lived for another 17 years, but she did pass away. So what was that group again?
David Bowie, George Michael, Freddie Mercury and Laura Branigan, all singers, it has to be said. So as a band...
Well, David Bowie can play the guitar. And
and the
Freddie
saxophone.
Mercury plays
George
the piano.
Michael can play guitar. That's right. They could do it. My apologies.
Actually, George Michael can't play the guitar. We've covered that.
Yeah.
He can play the piano, though.
Everyone's always talking about what gigs go on in heaven, wouldn't they? What gigs do you think will go on in hell for you, James? I definitely have the bottle tops from Quartz as part of my hell landscape.
Roxette's still going.
Okay.
Yeah, he's hired a new singer, Lena Philipsson, who finished 5th in the Eurovision Song Contest in 2004. They have put together a jukebox musical called Got You Back, which has just had a run in Sweden. So I don't know if that's going to come to the West End or Broadway anytime soon. Probably Broadway if they're so massive in America.
Did you watch the video?
Yes.
Did you find it appealing?
Well, they're mucking around, aren't they? He's got a guitar, they're in the car.
They look great. They're on the bonnet of a car, having a sing-song. I found it joyous. I found it life-affirming. I found it colourful. It's like the Eurythmics with a more proactive Dave Stewart, I found a little bit. He's a good pop star, and she was brilliant on it, I have to say, on this video.
The Eurythmics, because they're from Europe. They could do a song called Swede Dreams.
I haven't mentioned probably the most important thing. This is one of the examples of self-reference at the end. Did you hear it? She goes, Roxette!
Yeah, she shouts the name of the band.
Yeah, why not, eh? Delighted to hear it.
Shooby Dooby Doo Up! What we do, innit?
Yeah, just shout out what you're...
We're just copying Roxette.
Yeah, okay.
Number 7.
A non-mover at number 7. It's Move Your Body, brackets elevation, by Expansions.
Another example of, let's say, what you claimed at the beginning, the lack of identity in 1991
right,
for this.
Shut up.
Another banging dance record. Again, I was not bothered when I first heard it this week or when I first heard it back in the time, but slowly throughout the week. I put this on last night, James, when I was perambulating around my flat.
Yeah, that's what it's for. It's a dance record to be danced to.
Well, the clue is in the title. That's all they say. Move your body, move your body. Sometimes they tell you to do it higher, so that, there's that.
Yeah. I imagine they're singing it to like a mortician.
Well, this was annoying because when I was looking at the video on YouTube, I typed in Move Your Body and then I clicked on the wrong thing, and it turns out I clicked on an advanced Shaolin monk workout for old men. And annoyingly, I'd only just snuck into the age range for that, so I thought soon I'll be too old to move my body to Shaolin workout. Like monks. There's a lot of arms in the air stuff going on in it. Isn't there?
This video is more akin to the early 90s dance music videos that I was used to growing up. It's got someone titting around on a keyboard who looks, I thought, like former England striker Andy Carroll.
Okay, yeah. As Ibukum on YouTube comment says, the bomber jacket and ponytail, the staple of early 90s dance producers. That costume, if you like, the black jacket and the swept back hair, very 90s. But Shane Benham, 9619, comes storming in to say, Clark's Wallabies, Pop Swatch, Kickers, Hoodie, Dungarees, Bucket Hat. Enough said.
All right, I think he's just written Peter Kay's new show there.
Or Fern Cotton's on Radio 2. Have you heard her 90s show? If you wanted to write a Peter Kay type routine about the 90s, you could just listen to Fern Cotton. She's providing you with loads of stuff. She's Aunt Gel Pen's amazing. I like it.
Here comes my attempt at that as I tell you some information about... Well, I don't know if she's the singer of the song, but she's certainly in the video, and she's listed as the front woman. And that is Sally Ann Marsh, who had been on the kids' TV show Tricky Business.
Probably written by Nomad.
Probably. And she'd go on to be in a short-lived girl band with Danny Bear called Faith, Hope and Charity, who I'm pretty sure I saw at a Radio 1 Roadshow around this time. Do you remember Faith, Hope and Charity?
No.
That's surprising because Piers Morgan said they'll go a long way.
It's not the most offensive thing he said looking back on it, isn't it? In let's call it current times.
Sally Ann Marsh, after Faith, Hope and Charity, were not the global sensation that Piers Morgan predicted, would go back to acting and appear in Grange Hill and Bodger and Badger.
There's a lot of, let's call it, extracurricular duties for this week's Dance Pop Stars. Now, everyone on YouTube, James, throughout all of it, especially the dance records, essentially are saying it was great. And the 90s were great, as you do with every era. These were the best. I'm so happy. How can it have moved on? But Pot Banging Egypt, he says something good, I think, in the comments. He's on about how great he was, how much he enjoyed himself. But then he's saying, I can't imagine young people saying the same thing about coming back to the now. Housing is stupid expensive, jobs are scarce, crap and pay badly, and pubs are all closing down, and a night out costs more.
Myrrh?
Yeah, that's how he's decided.
Like Jesus' present.
Exactly like that. Yeah. But I thought it was interesting, like I say, the notion of, let's call it I found that I was the right age, right time, let's call it the right sensibilities, but the 90s, especially early 90s, mid-90s, were a liberated time, weren't they? So I kind of like this Pot Banging Idiot, acknowledging that maybe life is not so carefree and happy for today's kids.
I think they will look back with the fondness that we look back at the 90s with. You've got to remember, people felt nostalgic about the war when they were being bombed.
It's a valid point.
People will always feel nostalgic about a time when they were younger. So I can't remember who said it, but someone said, like, nostalgia is remembering a time when you didn't ache, you didn't have any bills to pay, and thinking it had something to do with the music you were listening to.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, whilst also I was looking at, let's call it 1991 to talk about stuff, I also came across a clip of the Chippendales. They were 1991.
Did you?
And also, they were dancing with Bruce Forsyth and Dirty Den from EastEnders. And I thought, yeah, maybe they weren't great in the 90s, actually.
Do you know what I wrote about this song when I was making my notes? I wrote, this is devotion without the good bits. It does its job. It's fine for what it wants to do. It feels ridiculously high in the charts for what it is. As a listening thing, it's just like, all right, fair enough, you've made your point. It felt a bit repetitive, which I know is the point of that
Certain
music anyway, so
yeah.
Who am I to say? Containing a sample from the theme from S Express, which in itself is a sample from Is It Love You're After by Rose Royce.
Okay, great fact. I learned about the S Express example. Someone pointed that on YouTube. Liberal Driller says this is good, I think, about the aging process. He said, I went to a small back in time rave recently. The balloons were floated down after the set. I playfully kicked one and managed to put my back out. That gives an example, doesn't it?
We would like to apologise to all the middle-aged people who have put their back out dancing to the playlist that we put together for this podcast.
This was interesting from a fella called Chris Cowie01, I believe. He says, one of the best dance tunes from the embryonic rave years. But then he goes on to say, it was a genuine working class movement. Make no mistake, the dance scene was a working class movement. The working class will never be credited with anything. And I sort of agreed with that a little bit. The notion of, let's call it the getting out your head a little bit and having a dance around and what call the common people fight. It is working class, this dance scene was. When I was attending whatever raves there was in 1991, you got the feeling it was a time of escape for people, for sure.
Chris Cowie.
Do you know him?
I've just looked him up on. He's got a Wikipedia page. He's a record producer. I knew that. Knew that name.
That's why I gave it extra credit, because I thought he had a good point. I think he's wrote a book about working class and dance music. So I'm right into it. What are you laughing at so much?
Sorry, the last line in his Wikipedia entry says, "Cowie is believed to be the founder of the cryptocurrency Trump coin." Citation needed.
Number 6.
A non-mover at number 6 this week. It's Because I Love You by Stevie B.
There are some brackets in that title.
What's in the brackets?
It says the Postman song.
The Postman song.
Yeah, which suggests that is what people were calling it. Oh, it's the Postman song. But
no wonder the Royal Mail's fucked if this is a Postman song.
He only mentions a postman once. Yeah. And he says postman as well. He says postman in a weird way. Okay. You can't just call it after a thing that's mentioned once. That'd be like calling Bohemian Rhapsody the landslide song or Hallelujah the kitchen chair song.
Yeah, right.
It doesn't make any sense.
Episodes in the past, James. I mean, I'm thinking back. Now, Lewis Capaldi,
yeah,
I sort of slagged off a little bit, didn't I? A little apologetically. That's one I remember. Savage Garden.
You didn't like that, did you?
Gave that a terrible kicking, didn't I?
Yeah.
No. I almost feel bad for those two records, bearing in mind this one. I'm going to say this is the worst record I've heard to date in the top 10.
The note I wrote down here, I don't get this.
I don't get it?
I don't get it. There are people who absolutely love this song. They absolutely love it.
Absolutely. Is it time for Nile Rodgers?
It's time.
Nile Rodgers famously said, go on, James, you do it this week.
If the song gets into the top 10 or into the charts, then it's got to be a good song, because lots of people have paid for it, gone out and bought it. So, you've got to give it respect.
Well done. You did that one properly. So I'm going to bring in the Nile Rodgers philosophy of this. I looked on YouTube. Loads of people love it. Loads of people think it's brilliant. I am thinking, what are you going on about?
To me, it just sounds like it never starts.
It never starts.
It just you feel like this is all build up. Where's this going?
There's no drums on it. Fair enough, that's an aesthetic choice. It sounds dreary. The DX7s and the plinky-plonky nature of the keyboards is appalling. To my ears, I can only reiterate that. The song itself is terrible. This was getting on my nerves. What I found particularly annoying, he keeps going, because I love you, I love you. What really wound me up, I would like this on another record, but at the end of every line he goes, puts a little major chord in, and I think, fuck off, Stevie B. Oh, man. Dreary, going on, lamenting a love, isn't it? Although on YouTube, get this right, someone called LF God says, I've just heard being operative, I've just heard Stevie B say this song is about Jesus Christ answering and responding to a letter he wrote to God when he was depressed. What do you make of that?
Well, it wasn't Stevie B, because he didn't write the song.
Okay.
The song was written by Warren Allen Brooks.
Well, Stevie B only said this song. He didn't say he wrote it. And also, SLF God says, I've just heard this. So I like the notion that somehow in the world he's just heard a rumour about Stevie B and he immediately goes to YouTube.
But indeed, Warren Brooks did say... By the way, Warren Brooks' website is all in caps, which just makes him look insane. But he said, people think this song is about a man trying desperately to hold on to his girl, but it's not. It's a spiritual song. It's about me and God having a conversation.
Yes, I found it incredibly like a sixth form song, really. I imagine this was almost their first attempt at writing a song. But that's not a bad thing, because we've covered them in the past, and that can be great. But me, personally, no.
According to Brooks, it took 7 years to write.
Oh, Jesus. Felt like it took 7 years to listen to, I have to say.
It is. He's such a drip in this song, the singer.
The solo is horrible. Did you watch the video?
Yep.
I mean, it's got the old David Brent, if you don't know me, by now vibes, hasn't it? All over.
A lot of that.
Always like that. When one of them comes up, makes me laugh.
But all this kind of, I'd do anything. Oh, have some self-respect, Stevie B.
I agree.
Also, it rhymes anything and everything. Not sure how I feel about that.
I wrote a song the other day which rhymed anything and many things, and I thought, that's lazy. So, James, let's be honest. We're coming to the end of part 1 of this week's top 10. Yeah?
Yeah.
I don't want to end on such a downer. Yet, hey, there's another Jesus song coming up in part 2. That's a little spoiler. As we like to say, Nile Rodgers, number 6. Loads of people loved it. I was almost resentful this week.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. So Stevie B, this is kind of a bit of a departure for what he normally does. He normally does kind of upbeat party music. In fact, he had a club hit with a song called Party Your Body. It kind of doesn't make any sense. And most of his stuff is the sort of dancey high NRG thing. In 2011, Stephen Bernard Hill, to give him his birth name, was arrested over unpaid child support of $420,000.
Blimey, that's an expensive nursery.
So maybe he won't do anything.
I don't like to bring people's pop stars' personal life into it, but it certainly helped make me even angrier about this record this week. I'm going to start some low-level grumbling, James, while you carry on talking.
No, I'm done. I got nothing else to say. It's such a nothing song, this. But there are people out there who absolutely love it.
And we respect you. Thank you very much for listening.
Do we respect them?
Not really, but
really.
it's the thing you have to say.
Yeah.
Well, that was number 10 to 6 of this week's chart, so predictably we are going to be covering numbers 5 to 1 in the next one. Here's some of the stuff you can expect from that.
I've listened to this song 4 or 5 times this week. I've still no idea how to do the Bartman.
Yeah, it's a nebulous notion, isn't it?
You can play the Time Warp once and you know exactly how to do the Time Warp.
I was not expecting us to go here with this song, I have to say, James.
No, neither was I
All right.
when I was researching it, but the story behind it is so weird. And luckily for all of us, the sexy man wins.
Yeah.
So the fat man takes his trousers off. Hooray!
That's not lucky for all of us, is it, really?
I was being sarcastic. Remember, you can listen to all these songs on our playlists. They're in the description. There's a Spotify one, there's a YouTube one. There are another half a dozen songs that are in the Patreon bonus tracks episode. You can join our Patreon community for free. Just go to patreon.com/Shooby Podcast.
Maybe listen to the YouTube one if you've got time this week. The Spotify playlist is missing 2 records that we are going to be covering in the top 5. Unfortunately, Stevie B's on there still, but you can get round that. Until next time, Shooby Dooby Doo Up.
Bop bop shoo up.